The Valley of Fear, Act 1, Scene number 7. This is the time, 1875, when Shafter is there in his lodgings and McMurdo is also there with him. We can see that laughter, conversation, and other kinds of noise which were coming from off the stage. McMurdo and Shafter seems friendly with each other in the beginning of the scene. When Shafter is talking to McMurdo that he is liked by the audience, his song was admired by the audience, and then Shafter, out of curiosity, he asks him that how long it's been that McMurdo was living in his lodgings. When McMurdo answered, it's not a week yet. Then we saw that the conversation carried on when Shafter asked him that about his work, about his job, and McMurdo answered him that he is having bookkeeping job, and he's saying that he'll be doing it for a time. But Shafter was saying he shared his impression which he got that there is a little conversation going on, and there are some concerns that Shafter was sharing that McMurdo and Shafter's daughter, Etty, they were talking to each other freely. So this is what was the concern of Shafter as a father. And McMurdo answered that yes, it is. And then they carried on with their conversation, and they came to know that they carried on with their conversation, and McMurdo came to know that there is someone else as well. And Shafter shared by giving him a kind of warning that it's Teddy Baldwin. And do you know why Teddy Baldwin's name was taken in a sign of warning? Yes, because he is one of the scourers. And then McMurdo shared that he is such a devil, and Shafter was also sharing his views that he is one of the scourers. Now, till here we come to know that the conversation was just friendly when they were sharing their viewpoints with each other in a peace in peace. And but as Shafter carried on by saying that people who claim to serve the working man against their employers but really only serve themselves, the ancient order of freemen. You remember that on page number 124 we discussed in detail about the ancient order of freemen. I want you to refer back to page 124 to just refresh yourselves. Okay, and then think about the question that how the order of freemen was a dividing force. What was it doing that it was explained as as a dividing force? Okay, and then the conversation carried on and on, and then we came to know much about the organization when McMurdo has shared that the organization was made for charity and good fellowship, and then it turned to be a murder society. And so now you see that over here, McMurdo and Shafter, they are sharing a general conversation. They were sharing about their concerns and views about Etty and Baldwin's relationship, and then they started discussing the ancient order of freemen. And when we move to the end of page number 33, then it is written, and it's Shafter's dialogue. He said that they've committed countless murders. What about Wellman and Oldham and little Billy James? Every man and woman in this valley knows it. And you remember in the previous scenes, when it was told that James Danger, who has written something in the newspaper, reign of terror in the coal and iron district. You remember that it was also mentioned there that there is no proof, and Shafter is also sharing this, and McMurdo says that sounds like gossip. I want proof, and you know that there's no proof. And let's move to page number 34 now. On page number 34, Shafter goes off, and now Etty and McMurdo, they are in conversation, right? And look at the last line, second last line, when she says, "You have been here too short a time, Jack. You don't know Baldwin or McGinty and his scourers." Now, as Shafter was sharing, that McMurdo and Etty, they have started liking each other. They are talking to each other, and here Etty is also warning, as Shafter has warned him that it's Daddy Baldwin, as the warning was given to McMurdo. Now Etty is also sharing her concerns, and she is warning him about the society, about the organization which was working. And McMurdo, the last dialogue on page 34, it says that, "If, as your father says, these men have done crimes after crime, how is it that none are brought to justice?" Now, this is a point for you to think as well, that what is that none of them are brought to justice? How are they doing? How are they playing in the society? And what are they doing? And how are they doing? Okay, let's move to page number 35. The very first dialogue on page 35 is very, very revealing about the society. And she is sharing her views, and is answering McMurdo's question that why there is nothing done about them. And she says, because no witnesses, and because no witness dares to appear against them, he would not live a month if he did. And I want you to refer back to scene number 2, page number 21. Over there, you would come to know the same. Okay, sorry, it's not page 21, it is, yes, page number 21, when that crime scene, when the organizer of this crime was explained. Now here it is sounding the same. Okay, scene 2, page 21. And if you will move on to the next scene, where it is told about the reign of terror on page 25, it is also sharing some of the information about that as well. So side by side, do parallel comparisons. Whatever you have read before, please refer back and see that how it is linking with the previous text which you have read and previous happenings. And as the characters have behaved in the previous scenes, you need to make a connection between what you are reading now and what you have read before. Okay, the next thing which we are going to talk on the same page, page 35, it says, "It sounds as Shafter versus McMurdo was going on over here when Etty and McMurdo were talking to each other. In the beginning of page 35, they were sounding as Shafter and McMurdo were talking, as in reference to the previous talk which they had. All right, I want you to look in the middle of same page, page 35. Over here, we come to know that Baldwin also Baldwin has joined them as well. Okay, and he came by calling Etty. Your father sent me through. This is what he said, and then Etty wanted a little time for herself to settle down for meeting Baldwin. And then Baldwin and Atty, they started talking to each other. And McMurdo also joined the conversation. Look at the fourth last dialogue when McMurdo said that he did not understand there was any relationship between you. And then Baldwin answered, well, you can understand it now. Now you see that here Baldwin and McMurdo, they were in front of each other when Etty was dealing both of them differently. Did you remember that in the previous scenes we came to know that Etty was making excuses that she doesn't want to go with Baldwin for a walk or any other thing, and now we came to know that the other suitor McMurdo is also there, and Baldwin and McMurdo, they are in front of each other. Let's move to page number 36. On page number 36, we came to know that there was a fight. There was a kind of fight which may happen on page 36. Let's see that would it take place or not. Then Etty stops him that no, Jack, he will harm you. And Baldwin answers, oh, it's Jack, is it? By God. And Etty was saying that, suggesting to Ted Baldwin that he should be reasonable and kind for her sake. And McMurdo didn't like what she was saying because he answered that if you were to leave us, Etty, there's no time like the present to settle this thing. Do you think that McMurdo was right over here, that whatever would be settled between Etty and Baldwin, or between Etty and McMurdo, or between Baldwin and McMurdo, it would be better now? And then they carried on their conversation, and in fury, in so much anger, Baldwin left the place, and by promise that he is going to do something, and Etty would be back to him. This is what he was saying. Then Etty started talking to McMurdo as Baldwin left. She said, oh, Jack, how brave you were, but it's no use. You must fly. What chance have you against Boss McGinty, and all the power of the lodge? Now here also we come to know that she is talking about the strength, the power, and this all which the organization was having. And McMurdo answered that she should not fear. And here in this scene we came to know much about Etty's character as she was handling the situation. We came to know much about McMurdo as he was dealing with Etty, as he was dealing with Shafter, as he was dealing with Baldwin, and as thoughtful he was. So there was so much to talk about characterization. There was so much to talk about the development of the events. There was so much which we came to know about the ancient order of freemen. There was so much which we came to know about the time, that why people were not sharing anything, why they were not appearing as witnesses for whatever crime they when they were there. And we are going to talk all about this. We are going to discuss each and everything in detail later. Bye bye now.